In life, you have to take risks. It's imperative that you do so. You can look to the examples of history and how humanity has taken significant steps in advancing and improving life, its living standards, and attributing this to risk. The risk that if we want to lead a life of success, the ability to improve lives around us, it's going to take risk. No risk, no reward, as they say. I came from parents that were very much risk averse. They didn't take significant risk. And definitely that seeped into my mentality in my initial phase of life. It stifled my confidence. I was like a caged animal in the zoo where all the life is taken out of you. And to use that as an example, when you go to the zoo, you observe the animals caged. They have no real ability to move or go where they wish to go, only in that confined space. How stifling is that? How limiting is that? And this is very much how a lot of us are living our lives. And as you see, when you walk out the door, the advancements, the technology, the infrastructure, that all took an element of people taking a chance, being willing to progress, to make changes, going out of their comfort zone. You can look at how a lot of societies and civilizations were built. And this video is not really to look at the controversial ways of how that was done. But unfortunately, there was a lot of sacrifice, death, destruction, almost immoralistic ways that people and humanity went out to obtain this life or a successful life in order to move society forward. That's a wider discussion to be had. But just look in your own life. Are you in your comfort zone? Are you in a place where you're uncomfortable in an uncomfortable place? Because many of us are in that position or in that situation where we know we can do more, but we instead settle for less because the comfort zone feels much better. You feel, let's say, more at ease because you don't want to go through that stress, that pain, that failure, which is almost essential in life if you are wanting to be someone that is successful. The successful people, they try, fail, and then they hit that sweet point where things come to fruition. And even then, with their ambition, their vision, their drive, they still continue to make things happen, shake the world. And even some of their, newer ventures may fail, but they know that is part of the success story. They know that that one that will hit, or the two, or the three, or the four, came with many failures before. And therefore, risk is an essential component of life. Stagnation, the false presumption of comfort, is literally where dreams go to die. And that's what I don't want for myself and ultimately the people that I wish to help. I don't want that to happen for you either. There's got to be a point in your life where there are trigger mechanisms to say that you want to move and improve with your life, because time is very much not on our side. Years and years go by. You know, some of the things that I have done, such as traveling, you know, that really opened up my mindset, broadened my horizons. I traveled for like 6 months at one point, which was one of my greatest memories. Something that I will never take back, or I would never wish that I didn't do. And even in my daily living, where the majority of the time I take jobs that are temporary roles, and this could be perceived as risky, but I don't really have many overheads as a lot of other people, or responsibilities, and therefore I choose to live slightly maybe on the edge, let's say, for the want of a better word. But I think job security, house security, etc., it's it's not the ideal for me, because I don't want to feel like I'm settling in life. I want to know that at any point I can change my life in an instance. I don't have to have these responsibilities which restrict my freedom. And some people say, don't you want a permanent job, etc.? And I'm like, no. Life is temporary. Partners, girlfriends, wives, temporary. All great moments, potentially, in life. All great memories, potentially, in life. But it's temperaments, not certainty. And this is why we have to take risks.